All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where Jaron Ennis makes a big admission about something he has to do before he is able to beat Terrence Crawford in a fight that he said he is going to get once he gets that IBF belt. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where we are going to be talking about Jaron Ennis, Errol, Spence, and Terrence Crawford. Jaron Ennis makes a big admission this weekend related to what he needs to do based on his last performance in order to compete with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, and also lets both of those guys know again that once he gets that IBF belt, then he is going to be able to force the fight with, I do believe it's going to be Terrence Crawford, because Errol Spence more than likely is going to be out of that weight division. Also, I talked to a future Hall of Fame fighter who also had a little bit more to say about Jaron Ennis and something that Jaron Ennis needed to improve upon. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter to the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support. It really means a lot. The support in the Cash Apps, in the Super Chats, in the live streams that we do, and in the super thanks of videos like this really do mean a lot, really do allow us to continue to do this, these type of videos on the channel. But let's get into this, because there's some good technical information for boxers in this video. Usually we talk about what is said and give you an opinion about what's going on when the media puts out some reports on fighters, or just kind of doing that. But in this particular video, we actually get to talk about a little bit more of the technique in boxing, because that is what both Jaron Ennis talked about related to himself. And also, I'm not going to say the name of the fighter, but I was at the Oshaki Foster versus Ray Vargas fight this weekend, and definitely shout out and congratulations to both of those guys for an excellent fight, but specifically to Oshaki Foster for becoming the WBC 130-pound champion. But at those fights, and over the weekend rather, Jaron Ennis let out a tweet where he said, look, I have, when I get the IBF belt, which he believes he will be able to get a shot at this year, then he is going to be able to be available to get the rest of the belts, specifically talking about the WBO for Terrence Crawford. At least that's the one that I'm hoping for. However, he said that he watched his last fight, and he was like, wow, that was definitely not the best of me, and admitted that he had to do things different next time. He said he needed to tighten up his punches, and also said I needed to cut the ring off better. If you recall the fight with Kareem Kukadajian, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He was just, basically never really sitting down on his punches, but being very shifty, getting out left, getting out right to the right, when Jaron Ennis was walking him down, but Jaron Ennis was not able to cut off the rings on him and, do everything that he wanted to do in that fight. And that is an observation that a lot of people made. But Jaron Ennis, who had tweeted that out, came out and said, look, man, I watched the tape myself in that last fight. The next time you guys see me, I'm going to be a lot better than that. So I applaud him for acknowledging, the improvements that he needs to make. Now, the other thing that was said, and this is, again, I'm not going to tell you said it, because I did not ask specifically if it's all right if I put it in a video, but it is somebody I was fortunate enough to talk to that's a multiple weight class world champion, and definitely going into the Hall of Fame. Said, look, the one thing that they saw about Jaron Ennis and an improvement that he needs to make is that he walks the guy down instead of shuffling to the guy. when you shuffle to when you walk forward, one step after another step, put one foot in front of the other, you're not in position to punch. So you have to actually get there. You have to set your feet, and then you'll be able to punch. And what Kareem was able to do to Jaron Ennis was, when he was walking, he was able to throw shots, and Jaron Ennis was not in a position to immediately counter him. Where if you watch how Errol Spence Jr. cuts off the ring, Errol Spence Jr. stays in a fighting stance, one foot in front of another, and takes kind of choppy steps to come forward this way or that way. That way, he's always in position to stop immediately and throw a shot, right? And that is some fundamental footwork that you do see in a lot of different sports. The footwork that I'm most familiar with as in a sport that I played myself is tennis. Other than fighting, right? Is tennis, where your footwork and being able to move in a way where you're always able to react either one way or another is essential. And if you overextend yourself, or you get yourself out of position, you're not necessarily in position to deliver the most power or the most accuracy to a shot. So I definitely understand what they're saying, and those are things that I definitely think, and I can see, there could be improvements in what Jaron Ennis is doing. I think one of the things with Jaron is, though, and one thing that he did say in this fight was that, in that tweet, he's like, he really was glad that he got the rounds, because it's better for him to have seen that now than to get in there and not have, not solve that problem with somebody like a Terrence Crawford, or say, I think somebody that is probably a better version of Kareem Kugadajian is a guy like Cody Crowley. Cody Crowley, if my memory serves me correctly, is also a guy that has very, very good footwork, is kind of shifty, will definitely move on you. But I think he also comes to fight a little bit more than Kareem Kugadajian did in the fight that we just watched. But all in all, man, I love hearing that from Jaron Ennis. I think that there's probably some real truth to that. However, I'm still going to tell you that the way that I see things turning for these guys, there's going to be a lot of problems for them fighting Jaron Ennis, even with the flaws even with those opportunities for growth that he has, because those, if he fights Errol Spence Jr. he's not going to have to go looking for Errol. I don't think, and Terrence Crawford is definitely going to be there, and is not going to be basically 90% footwork like Kareem Kugadajian is. However, being able to take advantage of that in spurts with Jaron Ennis may have caused him some problems, say against a guy like Sean Porter, who will do a little bit of both. He'll come in, maul you, grab you, and then he'll fight from the outside and kind of be shifty, not set his feet to get out of corners, like that type of guy, right? Now I know Sean Porter's retired, but all in all, I just thought that was a really good conversation. Very, very interesting information. You let me know what you think in the comment section, and with that, I'm out. Peace.